Hey folks, how you doing? Papa Joe here. One tired and hungry Papa Joe at that. My digital clock says I've still got 2 hours I can drive. My old tired butt says I'm done. I'm on Central Time and it's 12:30 here. And that's what time I run off Central. You know, we've had the discussion in comments and in videos. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. We have had a conversation in detail through the videos, and several of you new drivers have commented about the lack of respect from the old truckers, and we don't want to help and all this stuff. And I've told you some of the disrespect that we have gotten over the course of time. Now I want to remind you of a little exchange I've had with Little Guy Trucker. He's still haunting me. Now I have 3 videos about him. The first one wasn't nice, and I owned up to it. I owned up to I was wrong. The second video was saying, he ain't too bad. I checked him out. He don't look too bad. And the third one was an apology to him. Now that being said, I think I have done my duty. So my son called my attention to a post today. I just pulled out of my shipper actually when the post came through. And him and I was talking when it came through, and he checked it out. It's about the cab over, where I interviewed that young lad today, who was very respectful, and he acts like he's got his act together. Kudos to his dad and uncle and his grandpa. Looks like they've raised a good young man. He's not your typical new generation that you hear us talking about. He's old school, you can tell. It was trained into him. He grew up that way. He grew up in the trucking. This is an example of the new generation that is disrespectful, angry, all of it. And it's from Little Guy Trucker. And it says, he's a new generation. Talking about that cab over. What was his name? Brian, I think he said. It says, please let him subscribe to my channel. He ain't got to have my permission. He's a grown man. And he can learn something from my videos. It looked to me from that video in his truck and what he was doing heavy haul that he might have a clue. And he could probably teach Little Guy Trucker a thing or two. But that ain't how Little Guy Trucker. See, that's what I tell you. You have these guys out here that think they have it all figured out. They're going to teach everybody else how to truck. Let's see. You could also benefit to subscribe as well, Papa Rookie. Old dogs like you need new food. And I deleted his post off of it, and this ain't showing all of his message. Then he goes on to say, aren't you tired of the Alpo yet? Wouldn't you like some new food? Oh, by the way, I'm having a drawing for a hat and a t-shirt for all my new subscribers. I would not have a problem with him commenting on my videos. I wouldn't have a problem with him putting a plug in for his channel. But when you come at me like this, when you're this conceited, he is the true definition of a bigot. Go watch my video about racism, bigot, and prejudice. And he's a bigot. That's because he thinks whatever he knows more than everybody. Whatever he says, everybody should heed to his words, to his great knowledge, to his vast experience. And all he's doing here is trying to bait me into an argument with him. He figures if he could get me arguing with him, then people would come to read the argument. I give him material that he can feed off of and make more of his ugly videos about me like the one he did. I ain't gonna play into it. I was talking to a friend of mine. He's a new driver, and he's not a kid by no means. He's actually older than I. He's just new to trucking. And he told me 2 or 3 times, he says, you know the golden rule about trolls. I said, slap them? And no, you don't feed them. So I'm not going to feed him. And there's going to be those that saying this is feeding. No, this shouldn't be feeding him. This should be trying to teach some of the new drivers how not to approach us old dogs. Period. How can you call that respectful in any way? To me, I was just slammed. In his warped little mind, he just degraded me and put me in my place. Really? My life don't rotate around scumbags like that. It don't do it. And I'm really starting to believe somebody had made the comment that he was the lonely housewife by different account, and that he was doing that trolling himself to create the nonsense that he had, which means that's probably why he trolled mine and baited me, and I took the bait. I did. Lonely housewife had made a couple more stupid comments, and I hit the hide button on them. Well, when I did that, now whenever they come on to make a comment, I can see them, but you can't. Well, that wasn't no fun for them. So they kind of just disappeared. Well, now that they just disappeared, little guy trucker shows up. And he's making comments. Really? You need to get a life, dude. You really do. If you would spend as much time trying to learn trucking from a few old guys like myself, instead of so much time trying to troll and create hassles and discontent, you remind me of the Jerry Springer show. You know, if it's not nasty, he didn't want it on his show. I think it's the same thing with you. Did you run out of people to argue with, so now you're trying to argue with me? I ain't gonna do it. You ain't worth my time. Like I said, new drivers, take heed to this fool and his way of doing stuff. He will teach you. He'll teach you how not to do it. And this is the kind of stuff that we've dealt with for years. Only now it's going cyber. Now it's on the computer. Before it was in person and on the CB and everywhere else. Now it's just went right along with new technology. It's on this stuff. We've been dealing with, seeing I have to bite my language, bite my tongue because of the language I want to use towards this individual. But we've been dealing with individuals like this for years. And you think we haven't got tired of it? You've only been out here a little bit, and you're dealing with our anger and our resentment of individuals like this that we've been dealing with for years. You've only been dealing with it for a year or two, or however long you've been out here. We'll wait until you've been out here and dealing with pulls like that for 5 years. You just say, why even try? And that's how a lot of us are. And if you're one that actually wants help and wants advice, then you are going to have to actively seek that advice. There's a whole lot of us that are not just going to jump out and help you. We ain't going to do it. Okay, that one guy said his trainer was constantly helping people. Well, that's nice. That's really nice. And he had been out here, what, 8 years? Well, we've been dealing with this a lot longer. And after a while, you get tired of that. And when that is the majority of what you come across when you attempt to help, why keep poking the damn dog if he keeps biting you? Sorry, that's just the honest truth of it. I don't jump out and try to help every truck driver I see having issues. I don't do it. You seen me help the one out there in Denver that was froze up, you know, on the side. I've helped a few of them here and there, but most of them, when you try to tell them something, they either get nasty with you and tell you to go away, or, yeah, I know, yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, I've done that before. Oh, yeah, I know. There's two sides to every coin, two sides to every story. So don't look at just yours. Look at our side too. With that, y'all remember, God bless you, God loves you, and have a great night. Good night.